This isn't just a drama. It's the game show that revolutionized the world of entertainment. It's a story that tells us about a real-life concentration camp in South Korea, a place where real-life orphans were forcibly brought, made to work, and, just like in Squid Game, were used for the entertainment of the rich. Even the smallest mistake would lead to physical abuse. This isn't just a drama. It's the game show that changed the entertainment industry forever. The drama whose first season became the most viewed fictional game show in history, Squid Game. It's not like anything else on television.
Squid Game is not like anything else on television. Think Hunger Games meets Parasite, a gory dystopian thriller, on track to be the most watched streaming sensation ever.
But when Season 2 was released, it arrived so quietly that it didn't even top the daily charts on its launch day. This is the fictional game show that single-handedly music plays, delivered a story that shakes both the heart and mind. Hwang Dong-hyuk once lived in a small apartment with his single mother. He would write small screenplay scripts in the morning and dream big at night. Hwang faced poverty early in life, working small jobs to pay for his university fees while chasing his dreams. He got his first taste of success in 2014, when his movie Miss Granny became a national hit. But Hwang knew this was not the end, because Squid Game was still waiting. Hwang's script for Squid Game was way ahead of its time. He wrote it back in 2009, but no producer was willing to buy it. After 10 years of struggle, Hwang decided to lock the script away in a box. Little did anyone know that this very script would one day shake the world. Hwang spent his days refining the script at a manga cafe, a place in Korea where you can read books. His writing style was very dark and sinister. He was particularly drawn to stories where the rich exploit the poor. These dark themes became the backbone of Squid Game. At first glance, Squid Game appears to be just a game show. But if you look deeper, it's a game show that exposes the damages of social hierarchy. It not only highlights inequality, but also reveals the desperation to break through it. Netflix was determined to go international with its first non-American show. While Stranger Things brought worldwide recognition to Netflix, Squid Game was about to redefine its global success. To fully understand Squid Game, we must first talk about the brothers' home. In 1978, it was decided that the 1981 Olympics would be hosted in South Korea. The citizens were thrilled, but the government panicked. The streets of South Korea were filled with poor people, addicts, and orphans. If the international media saw this, South Korea could face sanctions for human rights violations. To address this, the then president decided to establish the brothers' home. It was advertised on TV as a free haven for the poor, but the reality was nothing short of hell. The police began kidnapping orphans and beggars from the streets in white vans. Just like in Squid Game, they were taken to a camp where children as young as 5 were forced into child labor. And remember, all of this was orchestrated by the South Korean government. The government appointed a man named Mr. Park to manage the camp. Park had a dual motive: clearing the streets of the poor while pocketing the money from their labor. The boys had their heads shaved and were assigned numbers, much like in Squid Game. Anyone who failed to work properly was subjected to brutal physical abuse. The most heartbreaking part was that Mr. Park was benefiting financially from these people, so the police were also involved in this operation. They would randomly kidnap people off the streets and bring them to the camp.
When 2 policemen approached him and asked him, "Why are you here? Are you alone?" The policeman told him, "Come with us to the police office. We're going to take you home." And of course, being 12 years old, naive, and thinking that these are policemen, obviously I could trust them, he ended up following them to the station. Little did he know that this would change his life forever.
It wasn't until an investigator named Park found and exposed this place to the media that Mr. Park was charged with several cases, and the concentration camp was permanently shut down. However, Mr. Park was never arrested before his death, and the victims could never forget their traumatic experiences. One reason why no South Korean producer wanted to buy the script was its dark and violent scenes, which were banned on South Korean media at the time. But Netflix's willingness to take risks changed everything. Hwang Dong-hyuk addressed allegations that his concept was copied from the Japanese movie As the Gods Will, saying he had never even seen that film. Hwang clarified that he developed the Squid Game concept in 2009, inspired by dark-themed manga books. On September 17, 2021, the entertainment world was rocked. Squid Game wasn't just a show, it became a cultural phenomenon. Within 28 days of its release, it trended in 20 countries, was watched by 111 million people, and Hwang Dong-hyuk's decade-old script finally came to life on Netflix. However, critics raised concerns that the dark and violent elements of Squid Game normalized exploitation and violence. Activists argued that mainstream media had desensitized people to such content, leading government officials and parents to question whether such material was suitable for the younger generation. But the controversies were just beginning. The first controversy arose when the villain's phone number was displayed in the show. In reality, it wasn't a fake number, but belonged to a 16-year-old Korean student who began receiving abusive calls from people mistaking him for the character. The public's harsh treatment overwhelmed the student, leading him to sue the creators of Squid Game. The biggest controversy came when credible news sources claimed that a cast member had died due to the heavy workload during shooting. However, this was dismissed as suspicion. Despite the controversies, Squid Game remains a groundbreaking phenomenon that continues to redefine entertainment.